Hey YouTube, I want to show you Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. This guy is about the same level as me. I was just kind of looking at his gear and his stats. He got 13 wisdom. He don't have any buffs except his own buffs. Does have one. Um, but I was just interested at his layout here and what skills he chose to have. Um, and I really haven't found. Um, I'm playing on the Reverent East Coast server. I haven't been able to find a lot of high level cleric. I mean, granted, there's a couple people in my guild that, with the guild that I'm in. My name's Pancake, level 18 cleric. I haven't been able to really talk to any of the high level clerics yet in the guild. If you hit L, I even forgot the name of the guild I'm in. I'll tell you here in a minute. I think it's called Reverence Band, Reverence Bane or something. Good Lord, they're gonna kill me for. But they're everywhere. There's a lot of people. Of course, right now it's the middle of the night. It's like 3 or 4 a.m. So a lot of people are sleeping. But I just wanted to show you my setup. This one right here, Divine Brand, 8-second cooldown. It does minor damage. I think they changed the modifier from Wisdom and Con to Wisdom and Strength recently in the last patch. I don't really like the way they have this. Like, you can only have, like this thing right here, you can only have 4 things on this bar. And then on this one, you can only have 6 things. And then you got a slot for your skills, and you can only have so many skills. And when I hit B, you can quickly see that there's a lot more skills and abilities than there's room for on your bar. So I'm just trying to figure out what the best setup would be. That video I saw here, this guy's about the same level as me. You see he's level 17. I'm not sure what server or whatever he's on. He's not using a shield. This is obviously before the last update, because now you can put your torch over here. But he's sitting at 13 wisdom with that 1 buff on him and 10 constitution, and he's 17, so he's 1 level below me. And you can kind of see what skills he has. usually when I'm in a dungeon, I will take off this ability, and when you like click this and then you just right click it, it'll pop in there. Um, I'm not really sure what this stuff means, really, but basically it's a technique, and when you're in a group and you can synergize with other classes. So if I use this force technique, someone else can use one of their abilities that complements. But if I'm solo, I'd usually just have this. I've never used this ability before. Oh, let me show you my stats and stuff. And I don't know if like I got this, but it has stamina and dex. This just has con. But you can see now you can put your torch here. So I got this cool shield one my guildmates made for me. Um, but I got pretty good gear. Like these are all ethereal leather, and this is ethereal leather. But a lot of the items, this one does have wisdom. This one has con. This one doesn't have either one of the stats I need. This one doesn't have either one of the stats I need. Um, and I just picked this up tonight, grinding some orcs, the new orcs. And I got this ragged chain with one wisdom that one of my guildmates made for me. Let me see here. I gotta sell some of this crap. This is the weapon I was using, and I had replaced it with this one. Just because it does a little bit more damage, but I really don't know. I don't think it's that much better, since this is the ability I'm using a lot, especially if I'm soloing, because it has strength. This has strength on it. I'm just kind of confused on what. I don't know if I'm using the best gear that I have available, or that's why I would like to talk to somebody that's better than me, and I'm not very good, so pretty much a lot of people would probably be better to me at this game. I'm just right clicking these bags to open them. This is my bank. This is kind of weird. There's these 99. And I got this weapon that has 17 damage. Oh shit. I wanted to look at the gear. Let me see. Alright. A lot of this stuff is for other classes, just stuff I found on the ground. I don't know why I picked this hammer over this one. This one actually does one more damage. But it says dull, and this one is an ethereal, which is part of this set. I do have an ethereal chain halberd, which would actually give me quite a bit more armor, but it doesn't give me any wisdom or con, so I've kind of left it on the sideline for right now. Like I said, this one did drop tonight off of the new orcs. But just these little plain one con bracer, I think are better. I don't really have any gloves that are cleric gloves. That's intellect. These shoes do have one wisdom on it, but this has con, and a lot of the skills, if you look over them, it says at the bottom there, healing modifiers, wisdom and con. And wisdom and con, this one doesn't say, this one doesn't say. Wisdom and con. So a lot of these abilities are based on wisdom and con. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on. I could replace these legs with these right here. They have 5 mana, but they have no other stats. So I decided to keep the ethereal ones. And like I said, the same thing with the gloves. I don't have any gloves. I do have some other. I did have some other staff options, but nothing with intellect. I mean, with nothing with wisdom on it. One of my guildies crafted me this or gave it to me. I just kept this other gear just in case I decided to make another character and you know, use that. But yeah, if I go two-handed, you know, having like something big like this or something like this would be good to have. But I kind of wanted a high level player to look at my stash, look at my gear I'm wearing, and maybe tell me if I am, you know, making a mistake in my gear. Like I had these shoulders on, but they don't have 2 armor, and I replaced them for these that I got tonight. Prior to that, I was wearing these, which has 1 Constitution. So, like, I could have had an extra Wisdom stat, but I picked up the Wisdom here. So I lost the Con, but I picked up the Wisdom. Of course, I don't really need the parry. I'm not a tank, but the only thing I think I could do differently is that, like I said, I could change my chest to have this, and this is my current armor class, 118. Oh shit. I just right clicked. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta find it. Where the hell did it go? There it is, up here. And I am a blacksmith, so that's why I do have, I haven't decided on a second profession, but I do have some blacksmithing. So that changes my armor class to 137. But it dropped my wisdom by 1 and my con by 1. So now I got 17 wisdom and 11 con and 118 armor class. But these 2 items are really the only difference I think I could make. I could change. Like I said, I really don't have any other gloves to wear. I really don't have any other pants I could wear. These right here are like, it has intellect, but it's not for the cleric. And these are ethereal manticles, which I guess kind of goes with the ethereal the ethereal set that I got from the manor. I was basically at the manor from 13 to probably 16, and then 17 and 18 I was in HC, which stands for some kind of caverns. So yeah, these are the only two pieces I could really see changing. And maybe if I'm just out killing mobs or something, maybe I need to use the two-hander. Let me show you the buffs. I really haven't grinded with the two-handed mace. This thing right here gives me a buff to my weapon that heal. It doesn't heal for much, but it lasts for 15 minutes. Heals between 1 and 15, which is a very little heal. One thing that I was doing basically is, alright, let's say I was healing this person and I'm in a dungeon group. One thing I changed today was my settings. I clicked this little box here, click targets, because sometimes there's like a summoner in your group and they got a tank pet, and I want to be able to see that tank pet too. So now when I click on the portrait, it'll be right there. But if I hit escape, it'll go away. But let's just say this is my tank. So normally I would, shield them. And basically what I was doing was just this heal right here that was 1.5 seconds. And what I realized recently, and I just hit 18, so I just got I got some new skills at 18. So I got this one right here, and I got this one. So my shield and this one. But I don't really, I guess this is like for climbing maybe, the endurance regen. But I really don't need it right now. But what I realize is now this is a 3 second cast, but it heals a lot more than this one. And like I said, in the dungeons, pretty much all I've been doing is shielding and healing with this single target. And when I need mana, I hit this and I sit down by hitting X to sit down. Now, I kind of need a mob to fight to show you some of this stuff. And hopefully I don't get myself killed here, because some of this stuff can kill me. When you hit C, you see, alright, this one's like low level. But I just hit auto attack, and then maybe hit this. That's like my, that's a powerful thing, and then I can use that. I'm gonna try to find something that ain't too dangerous that I can kill. Those spiders are really dangerous. Since I need a group for that. But I'd like to go through some of these other abilities. Let me see here. What can I drop? Let me see. Where'd that little skelly go? Alright. Now this isn't giving me no experience, because this guy's lower level than me. I don't have any experience with a two-hander, that's why I keep missing. If you look over here, it kind of shows you your stats. Heavy crushing, maybe that's a heavy crushing. I got a 1 out of 57, so maybe that's why I'm missing with that. Those spiders are really dangerous. Oh shit. Is it coming after me? I'm not sure really how to get to the new orcs. I kind of followed somebody last time. Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I think I'm in the wrong area. Yeah, those spiders are really dangerous. What is that? But I just wanted to be able to show you some of the skills and what kind of buttons I'm hitting. But like I said, I'm 99% of the time a healer normally, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not normally carrying a two-handed weapon. I'm normally um, using this gear right here. But since I was trying to kill stuff, I decided I better kind of put on my best. What the hell is that? Is that a monkey? I don't know what the hell that is. A group, it says. But no, I wanted to make a video basically on, cleric skills, how to heal, and I if you type stuck, it teleports you to your bind stone. Let me go back over here. But yeah, the most basic terms. Luckily, I picked up this spell at 18 that buffed it. It used to be like 70 or 65, which is if you hit B. I believe the previous rank of this was like 70 or something. But now it absorbs 110 damage plus 15% of your maximum health, which is huge. So, normally I use this, and then I'll just use my little heal here. But what I realized recently is this heal costs 15 mana, right? And it has 1.5 second cast. And here, let me swap back to my other gear just so I can kind of show you what a real situation might look like. Let's see if that changes the heal any. Alright. Alright, 86. But this one right here only costs 5 more mana. Now, granted, it's a 3-second cast instead of a 1.5-second cast, but it heals for a lot more. $173. Alright, let me drop this one, and let me find the this one right here. So basically what I would do is, like I said, I would shield it. And like I said, I've been using this one, but I need to start using this one instead. So I might have to swap these around. And if I'm healing, I really don't even need this one on my bar, really, to be honest with you, because I'm not doing any damage, really. this spell right here, Bond of Protection, it basically gives me 20% of the damage, or 20% of the damage be redirected to me for 8 seconds. So here, let me sit down and get some mana, and we'll go over this. But now that I got this cool ability that I can buff people for 15 minutes, now I got 3 little buffs. This one will not give a lot of healing, but if I give it to everyone in my group for 15 minutes, it will help a little bit. Now, what I normally do is I will use this cloak of myself, and basically what it'll do is it'll heal me for a little bit. Not much, but I'll say this is my tank here. I'll pop this on my tank. Now it only heals. It only lasts on the tank for 8 seconds. But let's say at the beginning of a pull, you pull 2 mobs, and the enchanter has not CC'd the second mob yet. So the tank's going to be taking a lot of damage in the first few seconds. So I usually pop this on the tank at the beginning, and this little heal right here is basically enough to usually heal me. Now, if we pull like multiple mobs, I try to save this one right here as my oh crap moment, where we've pulled multiple mobs, we need to kill something very quickly, because this increases every one of my groups attack and spell power by 15 for 20 seconds. So that's like a rally. This is my res. This one gives me health and armor. And I've already talked about this. This one costs nothing. Increases my spell power by 10 and my haste by 15% for 10 seconds. So let me look at this. Alright, here's spell power. Let me pop both of these. My spell power is 40 now. Let's see how much the 202. So I basically need to trade myself, or somehow maybe swap these around. So I'm using this one a lot more, because like I said, I've been using this one, but like I said, this one costs 15 mana for 1.5 seconds, but for 20 mana I can use this one instead. Now this one, I love this spell. This one lasts for 2 minutes. Now it has a 3-second cast time, which I don't really like that, but it increases their damage by 8% for 2 minutes. So, alright, so a lot of these, it kind of gets hectic at the beginning of a fight, because I'm casting so many abilities on the tank at the same time. So usually I'm shielding them. Um, I use this, and then I'm also casting this ability on the mob. This is not an enemy, so I really don't want to cast any uh, harmful spells on them. And then what I do is I get in melee range, and I hit the auto attack button right here, and I will use this prayerful combat. And I've got yelled at before, and not by guildies, but by pug members. They're like, "Why are you in melee range? You're a healer, blah blah blah." Well, there's a lot of abilities that the cleric has that can restore mana, and in order to do so, you have to be in melee range. So let me just try to find a mob here. Alright, so I'm just going to auto attack right here. And let me just show you what the brand does. So it doesn't hit for much. This one is basically my main attack spell. And that didn't hit him for much at all. But what I'll do is hit this button, Labored Blessing, and basically it makes the next heal. It has to be a heal, a 2-second heal or less. That will basically be free. So I'll hit this, and then I'll target myself, and then I can use this heal. So it's basically a free heal, but you got to be in melee range. Oh, I meant to do something else that I didn't do. Let me attack this thing. Alright, so I'm in melee range. I hit this. But also I want to do this thing right here, which actually gives me another buff. For also 15 minutes. Oh, I'm into class 4. But I had to cast this thing or I lost it, so I don't have a free heal anymore. But it'll come up again in 10 seconds. Hopefully I don't get killed fighting these little mobs. Alright, so I'll pop this, and then I can give myself a free heal, but it has to be within 10 seconds. You see the timer up there. And what I like to do is I like to, it helps if you sit down and to recover more mana. I'm already kind of lost, which is bad, because I don't want to run into those damn spiders again. I don't know if there's a timer on stuck. No, okay. Alright, so I just went back to my bind stone here. But basically this ability here says recite a brief prayer causing your melee attacks to restore 1 mana for 15 minutes. So this gives me mana. This gives me a small amount of health just by auto attacking. when you auto attack, you can hit this every 40 seconds to basically give yourself a free heal. Now I don't know what all these other heals are. It says spells impacted: healing spark, flicker, glow, celestial spark, flicker, glow, dawn, light, brilliance. Now this is healing glow. So I'm not sure what this has another name, so I don't think it affects this spell, but it's possible. Now there's a couple other heals that I could add to my bar here, and when I do get in a raid situation, I might need to have a cleanse or something, but I really don't have room for. I guess what I could do is I could buff my group for 40 minutes, take these two spells off, and then pop on like cleanse or something, which will get rid of poisons. But really, I haven't faced a lot of that stuff yet, or if I have, I really haven't noticed it. So I really haven't had a need for cleanse. Let's just go through the abilities. All right, so this one, like I said, I haven't used this one yet. The other guy I was looking at, the other cleric, he's got that on his bar over here. So I don't know if that's better than this. This is free, so no cost. It has an 8-second cooldown. So that's what I've been using. These are like passive buffs. Like I said, when I'm in a raid, I use this. When I say raid, I mean a group, like doing a dungeon with like 6 players. This thing, like I said, I've been using this for mana. This prayerful rest. What people have told me is you pop it and then you sit down. So I'll pop it and I'll sit down, and you see how much mana it'll give me. Because when you sit down, it helps you rest and helps you recover a little more. This one right here. All right, let's say I just use this ability. It puts me in a weakened state for 10 seconds. So my armor and stuff is going to be weaker. So if I'm soloing, I want to use this on myself, which gives me armor. And I have not even tested or looked to see how much armor it gives. Alright, my armor right now is 133. I'll pop this and it jumps all the way up to 166. So that's quite... It's not a huge buff, but it gives me, a good 30 armor. So I usually will use that on the tank if he's taking a lot of damage. So like I said, I'm using all these abilities almost instantaneously or nearly instantaneously at the same time. This is the same ability as this. This is just the level 1, and this is just the higher version of it. And the same thing with this one is this spell, and it's just a higher version. So like this is the spark. Rank 2 is flicker, and then this one's glow. Mend wounds. This is can cleanse bleed. And I think they just changed it so it only does 5% of base mana. It used to cost 8% base mana, which to me was a lot. So to me it was just better just to heal through it. And the same thing with this spell. This spell is just the rank 1, and then this is just a higher version of it. And then this is cleanse and ally of weak poisons. So this is another cleanse. So there's basically like 3 cleanses. absolutely love the combination of having a shield on the tank, um, having the bond of protection, removing 20% of the damage, and also decreasing the outgoing damage by 8%. So when I'm using this ability and this ability on the mob that's attacking us, and like I said, the group mobs take a while, usually take a minute or so. And luckily, this thing lasts for 2 minutes. Granted, it has a 3-second cast time, but it has a very low mana cost, eight mana. And for whatever reason, like me personally, I have mana problems all the time, and maybe I'm casting too many heals. But in the dungeon HC, for example, you can get stunned or silenced for 3 seconds at a time. So if you're letting the tank drop below 60% health and you get stunned for 3 seconds and then silenced for another 3 seconds, I mean, that's 6 seconds that you can't do nothing. That you can't heal, that you can't shield them. So that's a long time that a healer can't heal or do anything. So I love this shield on the tank. I love this, and I love this. And like I said, just these two abilities is decreasing the damage on the tank by 28%. So you're decreasing the damage on the tank almost by a third. Plus you have this on them, so there is absorbing damage that hasn't come in yet. And then also this ability. So like I would hit this, this, and this, and this. You know, so I'm using a lot of abilities as soon as the fight starts. And, you know, hopefully I already have this buff on. This is also this is a 2-second cast, but it lasts 15 minutes. This one's also a 2-second cast. This one right here I pretty much use on cooldown because it has a fairly not a long 1 minute 30-second cooldown, so it's not that long. This one is a 5-minute cooldown, so I usually don't use this ability unless crap hits the fan. And you really don't know when you're going to pull 2 mobs until 2 mobs come. And if you can't handle 2, when 3 or 4 come, you're probably wiping. So this ability comes in handy as a oh crap moment. This ability right here makes the tank immune to stun and knockdown effects for 30 seconds. Maybe there's some bosses or whatever that this would be useful for. So I could also, you know, once I buff my group, I could actually remove these 3 abilities. You know, basically I could buff myself, buff my group for 44 minutes or whatever. Hopefully we're not going to die, so I can take this off my bar, take these 2 off my bar, and then I could, you know, I could put in those 3 cleanses. You know, one relieves bleed, one relieves poison, and I forgot what the other one does. But this one is the same as this one, but it's just a lower rank. Same thing with this and this. This is a lower version of this, because this lets you restore 25% of their lost experience that they get from dying. I don't really understand this ability. Pacify the target's will, reducing their assist range by 30% for 6 seconds. I don't know if that's a stun. Is that a stun? I don't know. I don't know what this ability does or is, and I have not tried it. This is a lower ranked version of the other skill that I just used against that skeleton. This one gives me spell power and haste for 10 seconds. There's also 2 other heals that I don't have on my bar. And that's why I really wanted to consult with a higher level cleric. But alright, let's say I take these 2 abilities off. And granted, I really love that bond ability. But I just wanted to show you some of these other heals. And this shield is a lower version of this one. Let me just go through the other skills. Prayerful Combat, that's a buff that gives you mana. We've already talked about that. Last 15 minutes. Now there's a lot of abilities that would be good against undead if you're like soloing or something. This is probably one of them. Bind an enemy undead to the ground, root them in place for 1 minute. Inspire allies, we've already talked about that. Huge buff. It costs 25 mana. Cloak of Light, we've already talked about this. Basically, I would cast this probably on myself. And my background is I probably played WoW 20 years ago for 10 years. I never played EverQuest, but I'm a little familiar with EverQuest, but I've never actually played it myself. I mean, I watched videos and stuff. I never played EverQuest. So I'm just familiar with it as I've watched a few videos. I know what it is. I know, but I've never experienced it myself. Because back when I was trying to do it, it was on dial up and all that crap. Halt Undead, Halt Undeath. That was the spell I used against the skeleton. They can do a lot of damage. So if I'm soloing, I basically want to be fighting undead if possible, because this spell right here does a ton of damage. It has a fairly fast cooldown, 3 seconds, and I can use this and this ability and pretty much one-shot a lot of things. This one we've already talked about. This one, cure yourself or a target ally of a weak and strong poison. So this one looks like maybe it cleans two things, a weak and a strong. I'm not 100% sure on that. This one is the buff. Readiness lets you use like these kind of abilities. Well, you build it up. It's like a third, like mine would be celestial power, I guess. But I really don't know how to use it yet. Where were we at? Alright, Spook the Undead. So we have a root for undead, and we have a fear for undead, and we have yeah, DPS spell for the undead. Now I don't. Let me just remove this real quick and put in this, and I'm gonna give me this buff too. So now I got endurance generation rate increased as well. But like I said, I don't like that you can only put 4 kinds of abilities on this bar and you can only put 70 on this bar. I really don't like that. I would rather have all my buffs, maybe a sidebar where I could have all my buffs in one place and not have to switch spells in and out. I don't know why that disappeared. You see that? It disappeared. I guess because I took it off my bar. If I take this off my bar, am I going to lose it? Yep. Yep. But I don't know. I don't know if endurance and what I've been told is endurance is just used for like climbing and stuff, but I don't know if I think this one is, this one will heal everybody in my group a little bit when they auto attack, which isn't going to be for much, but it'll be for a little bit. So by me swapping the third and fourth one out here, hopefully my mind will, because mainly, like I said, these two were my bread and butter. Now I need to train myself for 2 and 3 to be my bread and butter. But this one does have a longer, as a healer, 3-second cast is almost infinity. There are no instant heals. Like, when I used to play WoW as a paladin, the spell that was our damage, this spell, I thought also could heal as well. Maybe I'm wrong because I haven't played in so long. But, 3 seconds as a healer, that is an eternity. And there's basically no instant heal. There's this ability here, and you can't really see it because there's not 3 people around. But it says, restore the health of an ally after the heal occurs, jumps to the most injured group member within 20 meters. This ability will jump up to 2 times. So it's basically 3 heals, but it only heals for about 50. At least mine only heals for about 50. So it's kind of cool, it kind of bounces around. So if you have a couple people in your group that are just taking minor damage, this is the heal here. And maybe when I'm in a raid, maybe what I'll do is drop this and put this one over here. Because like I said, when I'm in a raid, I pretty much don't DPS at all unless I'm uh, um, all right, let me see. All right, so when I'm in a group, I'll usually have this one equipped. So I'll use this. It actually does around, probably around, I don't know. I mean, as far as the damage I do, it's about the same damage. This one up here is actually more because this one has a 30-second cooldown, and this one only has an 8-second cooldown. But I don't know. They can do maybe they can knock down the target. Maybe they can blind them. Maybe they can stun them. You know, there's other abilities that other classes can do when you use this ability. But when I'm in a group, what I should probably do is remove that off my bar totally. Put this over here, and that will allow me to have my hot back. Let me just put it on myself just to show you again. It doesn't do much. It lasts a minute, but it just ticks for like 5 and it'll crit for 7 or 8. And like I said, I usually use this on myself, and then I use the bond of protection, which I don't have on my bar now. This one right here, I've never used in a group situation. Now, mainly the content that I've experienced so far is I'm mainly just hailing the tank. The tank is usually the only person taking damage. In the groups I've been in so far, the content, I mean, sometimes, you know, let's say the Mez is a target, and the target breaks loose, and before the Mezzer can re-Mez the target, the Mezzer will pull aggro, and usually in that situation, I usually try to shield the Mezzer, and then the tank usually picks up aggro. Let me go back here, and maybe there's some other people around. We'll see. So you can't really see it, but basically any one of my group within 20 meters would get healed for probably around 50. But like I said, I take that one off my bar because I don't ever use it. I have not had a need to use it yet. So I think going forward, when I go into a raid, and let's try to join one. A lot of people are off ladder now because, like I said, it's like 4 in the morning. So most people are asleep. Are you gonna let me buff you? So yeah, let's say I got two people in my group that are injured. Now this does cost a lot of mana. It costs 25 mana, which is a lot. But you can see how it kind of bounces around. But a lot of times, just maybe this little cloak here, and just that little hill that bounces around is enough to top off whoever's low in the group outside of the tank. Because basically the only person, like I said, I'm healing is the tank. And like I said, I love these abilities that the cleric has access to. So I would shield. Let's say two elite mobs are on them. I would use the bond of protection. Then I would cast this divine weakening. Or sometimes as soon as the mob comes, if I can, let's say I've already done the shield on the tank, and so I'm doing the shield. A mob is coming. I'm targeting the mob. I'm putting divine weakness on it, and then I'm looking back at the tank, and I'm popping the bond of protection, reducing damage 20%. Popping the fortified presence on him, and yeah, and you just sit back and wait a couple seconds, and ideally, normally, once they take 5 or 10% damage, I'm usually casting this heal on them. But because this is a much bigger heal, I can maybe wait a few more seconds and maybe let them take 10% damage before I'm passing the heal on. And most of the time between the shield, at least the content I've been in so far, just the shield and this spell right here, even if the tank is tanking a boss, just maybe 2 heals and they're back up to full. I don't want the developers to see this, because I don't want them making the content harder, because I have a ton of problems with mana. And the problem is that your group wants to pull, and then as soon as that mob is dead, they're ready to pull the next one. And then as soon as that mob is dead, they're ready to pull the next one. Well, after each mob, I'm down to 30% mana. And they want to keep chain pulling. They want to pull the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So I never get a chance to fully regen my mana. It's always 1 bar, or sometimes we'll wait 2 bars if there's the possibility of pulling 2 mobs. Or if we have a measure, if the possibility of pulling 3 mobs. In HC so far, the most dangerous I think I have been was we pulled a boss and another mob when I only had maybe 2 bars, and then another 2 mobs spawned on top of us. And in that case, I definitely had to use a mana gem. I was in melee. I was having to use Labor Blessing on cooldown. I was popping my oh crap button. And then every time this thing was up, has a minute and 30-second cooldown, I'm popping it and sitting down. You see, when you're resting, you get this little buff here. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I haven't talked about yet, but yeah, if I'm soloing, I definitely need my DPS spell. Um, which is right here, which I'll swap with this one. But like I said, I have not used this in a dungeon. I pretty much have, let's say I need to heal the tank and I need to heal a rogue. I would heal the tank first, and then I would heal the, I would just, heal him and then heal him. But now, I could hit this spell, and it would, if 3 people in the party just took a little bit of damage, I could just pop that. And granted, it has a 10-second cooldown, but I'm really liking, kind of liking how it kind of bounces around like that. It is expensive though. It is 25 mana. It's not cheap. If for mana efficiency, it probably would be I don't know. I guess it just depends on how much health they're missing, because it might even be cheaper just to just do. Oh, here's my guilty here. But yeah, I'm not the I don't know why that level 17 cleric was not using um, bond of protection or the other or this one on his bar. Um, he was using that group heal one right there, but like he all right, he was he did have the hot up there. Um, and like I said, he had these other buffs, these cleanses up here. But yeah, I really, like I said, I haven't used the Zerka Light at all in groups yet, but I think this is really good because I do find myself in situations where three members of the group have taken a little bit of damage. But normally, let's say I got a shield on the tank, and then let's say the enchanter takes damage, I'll just shield him too. And it does take a lot of mana to do that. And then that shield lasts enough time for me to cast, to heal up everybody. But I think what would be better would be this little arc. That way, if my rogue, because I found myself a lot of situations where, especially in an oh crap situation, where multiple members are taking damage and you just don't have time to heal everybody. Let's say, all right, here's an example. Let's say they pulled 3 packs and 3 mobs, and all we got is 1 tank. We got no measure. And then, next thing I know, a mob is on me, and I gotta heal myself plus the tank at the same time because the mobs are hitting me for half my health, and then I gotta heal the tank, and then hopefully kite the mob to the tank, and hopefully the tank sees that the healer is getting hit, or I say something in Discord so they can pick them up. But this thing right here is really going to help me because, like in our last group at HC, for example, where we had, I think we were around 17, maybe the tank was 18. We didn't have an enchanter. So pulling 2 mobs is very difficult for us. Because basically the tank had to take 2 mobs, and they hit very hard. And like I said, some of the time I would pull aggro, and the mobs would come attack me. But we did have a summoner that had, they could either have a DPS pet, a tank pet, or a healing pet. But in those situations, I think it's better. What we chose to do is have the summoner switch to the DPS pet. And in theory, that makes sense because if you're killing mobs faster, I'm not having to heal as much, and thus I'm not using as much of my mana. But as soon as the summoner switches from the tank pet to the offensive pet, we pulled 3 mobs and 2 people. We ended up wiping. The party wiped. But having this target thing here, all I got to do is target the pet, and then now the pet will show up here, and it stays there. I think until I hit escape. But the only time I need to be using Healing Glow now should be when I get a free heal. Now, the only thing I'm not sure about is if this Labor Blessing works with with that one, because it doesn't show that it is, and maybe they just have the tooltip wrong. Well, I'm sure I know it won't work because this says it has to be a 2-second heal. This is Arcalite. I'm not sure of that. It just says Celestial Spark, Flicker, Glow, Dawn, and Light. I don't know what Celestial Spark is. Maybe that's the DPS thing, and maybe they just got the name wrong on the tooltip. I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know what other healers are doing. I haven't talked to any other healers. There was a healer that I was on our Discord that I was talking with. He's actually a couple levels higher than me now, but he's in a different guild. And I have not talked to him, but yeah, I think this is the best setup for me, the best like choice of abilities and stuff. And let's say I need, I think I've said this before. Let's say that I got a mob on me, I'm soloing, or I'm healing the group, and I just happen to have a mob on me, and I'm out of mana, and I really need mana back, and this is up. I'll pop this, and I'll pop this because this puts me in a weakened state. So you take 15% increased physical damage for 10 seconds. So when you're in that weakened state, you really need the extra armor. So I think those two are a good combo. Like I said, this is my oh crap moment, and you saw the spell power go up by a lot. I'm curious how much the flicker does once you pop both of them. Alright, so this is around 50. Let's wait 5 seconds. And let me just cast this one. It should be like around 170 maybe. Alright, 175. Alright, let's pop this. Let's pop this. Ooh. So you saw there, we got almost 100 crit off of this one. We only got 6 people on right now. This guy just started, I think. He's only been playing like 2 days. He's already level 11. Wow. And his name's similar to mine. I used to play with this guy, but I hadn't played in like a week. And I was doing other stuff and just taking a break from the game for a little bit. And some of the, you know, some of the players that I used to group with are really high now. Like they're like level 24, and I'm still kind of catching up. It takes a long time to level. I played a couple hours today, and I got like 2 bars. But you see, there's like bubbles here. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bubbles. And if you die, you lose experience. So if I die, I might go like down to here. And see, a lot since they've added these mobs that you can solo now at the upper levels, they don't really need a healer. They can solo themselves, you know. Whereas before, you pretty much needed a 5 or 6 man group to do pretty much anything. But yeah, I might take this off my bar just in case I end up having to, you know, solo something for now. But I just wanted to show you guys what my setup would be if I was soloing. Now, like I said, if I'm soloing, I'm probably putting on as much damage mitigation as I can. I'm probably going with a 2-hander just so I could do a little bit more damage. And when I'm selling stuff, I'm hitting the Alt key and the left clicking. And you see how oops. Which one is the banker? All right. You see how much gold I got? Let's say I wanted to give myself some gold. I would just click on it, and you can type in like how much. Like I'll give myself 1 gold or something, and I'll drag it over here. I don't really particularly like the system, but that's how it works. But HC, what I was doing the last 2 days or a couple days ago, gives you a ton of gold. A ton of gold. Like a couple hours, you'll make 10 gold. And whereas I was killing mobs with a couple of people earlier, and orcs that are around my level, and didn't make almost anything. I mean, I think I made 30 silver in a couple hours. So let me. I'll go ahead. I'll go slow this time over my gear. This curse cape and all this ethereal stuff, I got at the manor. This, like I said, dropped from a random orc. This a guild member gave me. This a guild member crafted it for me, and this was at the manor as well. This was off one of the Gotti bosses, I think, and this dropped in the manor as well. This dropped in HC, I believe. But the only reason I got this is the tank already had it, so the tank didn't need it. The only other class that could wear it was me, so I grabbed it. But you can see my mana pool here and then my HP. And I got a shaman friend of mine that's in my guild who he has really good gear because his wisdom's like, I don't know, 22 maybe. And his mana pool is like 3 something now. And I think his health is 3 something too. But it's a good time to get the game. They are going to do a wipe at some point, so all the progress that you made on your character is going to eventually end. I got this from the manor. This, I'm not sure, I think it was a quest. These are just some of the schematics I got because I was trying to do blacksmith, but then I've kind of given up on it because it was just so much. It's so expensive to get all the schematics you need. And just for a basic piece, you need like so much stuff, so many schematics, and then the rewards were less than what you spent on all the schematics, so I was just losing money left and right. but everyone I have met so far, outside of maybe one or two people, has just been super nice, super kind. Um, a lot of people are older. Some of them are retired. Um, they're like probably in their 40s or 50s. But it's a good group of people, and we have our own Discord. I think I mentioned the name of the guild earlier. I think it's Reverend Band or something, but our guild has tons of people. I don't know. This just shows the online members right now, but I don't know how you can show the offline members, but it's a lot of people. I want to say it's probably the largest guild on the server. Um, I don't know if we have like 200 members. I don't know how many of those are alts, but if I had to take a guess, it's probably 100 or 200. Maybe not that many. I don't know. There's usually maybe at least 20 people or 30 people on Discord. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. If there's any higher level clerics or more experienced that have done some later game content and see that I'm missing a crucial ability on my bar, or maybe show me how they have theirs set up, feel free to hop on over, make a little character on this server, level 1. I'm going to try to be plain um, as much as I can in the evenings. Um, right now the level cap is 40, but as far as I know, the mobs only go up to 25, so you don't see that many people higher than 25 because the grind is very, very slow after that. I don't know why it won't let me res them. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for letting me make a quick video. It wasn't that quick. I know I kind of bloviated and made it longer than it needed to be, but just wanted to go over some of the skills and abilities and some of the spells that that I'm using that I found the most useful to me. Like I said, I'm not using this one right now. I'm swapping out this for this in a raid. I'm going to swap out that for that 3-person heal. I really don't have room on my bar for these cleanses, but I still don't know what this means. So if anyone knows what that means, if they can tell me. And like I said, I'm probably going to be swapping out this and this when I'm in a raid situation. And like I said, I haven't found a use for this yet. But alright. But alright, so let me think here. Alright, so this right here costs 20 mana. This will heal everyone in my group. For 50. This one only heals 3 people for 50. That costs 25 mana, but yet this one only costs 20. I guess the main thing is this is a 1-second cast, and this is a 3-second cast. But if everyone in the group is taking a lot of damage, a lot of times you don't have time, because let's say my tank is tanking 2 mobs. I need to be on that tank like constantly, so I don't think I can spare 3 seconds to heal everybody. So I do think this one, even though it's a little more expensive, it's 25 minutes instead of 20. I think this one is probably better, just because it's a 1-second cast time. Now, if everyone in the group is taking damage, yes, the other one would be better, probably. But usually that is not the case. Usually it's just the tank taking damage, and sometimes me if I pull aggro, and usually it's either, let's say maybe you got a monk pulling and he feigns death and the feigned death resists, or the feigned death messes up or something, and so, or like I said, the Miz resists, or they break the Miz early, or something like that. So usually it's the tank always, and then usually either a Mezzer, myself, or a monk or a rogue. It just takes a little bit of damage. So I'm excited to get in a raid tomorrow or later on today, and hopefully get in a good group and see how we do. So far I've done pretty good healing people, I think. I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but people have not died that much, so and usually I'm a solo healer. That was Tech again. Let me ask him why I can't raise his corpse. Oh my gosh, wow. Yeah, Reverence Bane. This is the name of the guild. I don't know why I can't see my. Um, Reverence Bane. Well, I was about to log off, but